If you follow Vortex Optics, you know that last year or the year before, I don't remember the exact date, they came out with the Defender CCW, which is a smaller RMS-C footprint red dot, I believe, a little bit smaller, kind of like a concealed compact type of red dot. Now, I have a couple of those, and I've had fantastic luck out of myself. So when they launched these, I decided to grab a few. Now, I have one already mounted up on my 14.56 arc here, kind of like a offset red dot situation. I've already ran it quite a bit. That is the 3 MOA dot on this particular model. Like it a lot, so I went ahead and picked up another one. I'm gonna mount it up on my 870 for a quail hunt we have coming up. But I figured we'd just go ahead and open the box up and kind of do, everybody does them, but we're gonna go ahead and do an unboxing. Not really a review, but just unboxing in general. And I'm gonna go ahead and mount this thing up on the 870, like I said. But as it pertains to Vortex nowadays, they do a fantastic job with their boxing and information on the inside and the accessories that come with the products nowadays. So I figured, why not just go ahead and do it on camera? We have the overhead camera set up, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing and talk about it as we pull the stuff out. So, I mean, obviously, again, a good thing about Vortex is the information that is present on the outside of the box as well as the information on the inside. Now, if you take a look on the outside here, it clearly states it's the Defender ST 6 MOA dot, which I find to be a perfect size dot for a shotgun. And I like my 3 MOAs for the rifle. Now, different people have different preferences, but that's just kind of how I go with things. Now, before we get into the box, take a look at the back side of the box. This is all your important data. It literally gives you all the specs and features that come along with the Defender ST. And it is, I'll go ahead and note, this is once again a 6 MOA dot, and this is a D.O.P.E Pro mounting footprint. Now, I really like the way they do their boxing, because if I, as a consumer in the store, and I'm looking at red dots, and nowadays there's just gazillions of them, it's kind of complicated nowadays to understand all the footprints and everything else, and sometimes it's kind of complicated to find out what footprint it actually is. So if you look on the back side of the box here, it tells you right there, D.O.P.E Pro. So I know I need a D.O.P.E Pro mount if I'm going to do some sort of offset mount. And we'll get into the inside and check it out. So as soon as we open a box, Vortex Nation, vortex.com, you can scan the QR code. It'll take you to the website and give you even more information about the red dot. And you get your little inspection card here. And it basically talks about, their inspection, all that kind of good stuff. So we have right off the bat our actual red dot, and it's already on a Picatinny mount, which we're going to utilize this on our shotgun. We have a little Weaver base on the 870. So it's going to literally, we're going to check the torque specs on this, and we're going to go ahead and get it mounted up. We do have a nice little cover here, and we go ahead and check out the unit itself. It's like I said, it's essentially just a larger CCW red dot, slightly larger. But anyways, I want to talk about, the internals of the box, everything you get with this mount. And the CCW is the exact same way. It comes with all sorts of stuff. So if we go ahead and pull this little bag out, we can see we have our optics cleaner, our battery, our tool, all types of screws are manual to the actual product, which is very important. I want to go ahead and just highlight something real fast inside this bag that I really have grown to appreciate with the Vortex CCW itself, and this one's no different. So if we look inside the little accoutrements bag here, what you end up getting is lots of different size screws, and it actually is clearly labeled what pistol it's for, what the screw size is, and what the screw length is. That is, to me, this should be the way all pistol red dots, or red dots in general, should come, in my personal opinion, because we have all the different pistol platforms, screw size, everything. I can't say enough how much as a gun nut, how much I appreciate that myself. And again, we have our tool, we have our battery, and we're gonna go ahead and double check. There's nothing else in the box. That's pretty much everything. Lens cloth, as always, our actual red dot here. Now, like I said, I've already spent some time behind the 3 MOA dot version. And I will go ahead and say, like, I would have to say the only downside, the only, I don't even know if you call it downside, the only thing I would comment on is the fact of how you have to access the battery cover itself. It's kind of, once you have this mounted up, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of awkward, it's kind of odd. But all in all, I mean, it's, it's all about pros and cons, how once you put the battery in, I would recommend putting the battery in before you actually mount this. Now, on this Picatinny mount, it probably won't be as big of a deal. In here, where you have less, you're more restricted in space, it's definitely going to become, I'd hate to say an issue, because it's not really an issue. It's just, it's kind of awkward to utilize this tool to pop that battery cap off. Other than that, it's fantastic red dot. Like I said, I've already put quite a few rounds down range behind this one, beat it around quite a bit. It's kicking along just fine. I'm not going to speak on the speed of the emitter and all that kind of crap. I don't see any issues myself. Now, there were some people that came out and said on the Defender CCW that the emitter speed was kind of an issue on pistols and stuff. Again, I have a couple, and I've never witnessed that issue myself. But I'm also not a big time pistol shooter. I run most of these on rifles and shotguns. So I don't know. We'll see if I run into any issues, and I'll check back in if I need to. But we're gonna go ahead and get this thing mounted. Get it mounted on the 870. Go ahead and get ready for some. Get it zeroed and get ready for some quail hunting. And let us know in the comments down below if you have any questions about the Defender SST or the Defender CCW. We'll do another video at some point covering the CCW extended use, because I've had mine for, my first one I've had for over somewhere around a year or so. We'll do an extended use video at some point, talking about some pros and cons, mostly pros as far as I'm concerned. And that's pretty much it for this one. Be sure and go check out allemunitions.com. We'll see you guys next time.